Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And a funny thing happened last night. I had a friend of ours, someone who watches the channel, send a link over to this billboard, promotional billboard for the amazing digital circus, right? And it turns out that another veteran animator said that independent animation is the future.
No.
What?
I hope they're going to do a whole bunch of videos talking about what a bunch of terrible people that terrible person that is and everything else.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this because the animation industry is still not in a very good place right now. There have been a few hits here and there, but we've been talking about linear TV drying up, and that's where a lot of the programming was, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney Channel, and they're not really greenlighting much. So a lot of people are out of work, and for some reason, it's our fault. I don't understand.
Yeah, but they're all just saying everything that we've been saying. We've been under fire for saying the exact same thing the industry veterans are saying now. It's like, duh, obviously, what do we know? Clownfish TV doesn't know what they're talking about. Well, fuck you, apparently we do.
So anyway, we're going to talk about this. Again, don't contact this person. This is Seth Kearsley.
What, they didn't do anything?
Yeah, they didn't do anything, but yeah, because I've tried to jump into threads before with other animation people who said that we were right, and to thank them for watching us, and they got attacked and dogpiled, and they wound up having to take their threads down. So ridiculous. Anyway, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You will get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So this is come from Cartoon Base. So the amazing digital circus has a promotional video. This is in Japan, for crying out loud. This is in Japan. Now, this series, for those of you who don't know, it was actually self-funded, and they started out doing Mario. I think they started doing little Mario animations and stuff like that, and then they went into doing their own stuff with better production values, and then apparently Netflix picked it up, and that's kind of how things are rolling. But they're doing pretty well. They're going to be in Japan. They're on a billboard. And Seth here, who has worked on The Secret Life of Pets. He's worked on Sing. He's worked on the Looney Tunes show. He worked on 8 Crazy Nights. Okay, well, I won't hold that against him. But he's been doing this for a while. And he said, I feel like the future of animation looks a lot like Digital Circus and Hazbin Hotel.
Really?
What?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Groundbreaking there.
They're creator-driven. They're fan-funded. Feels like a more organic way to have original content where the big studios only really seem interested in strip mining their existing IP.
If only somebody had been saying that for a while now. Oh, wait.
Oh, God. I got to give a hat tip to Jaggins Junk, who actually was one who sent this over. But we'll look at some of these comments here. This person says, I really do feel like indie animation has a brighter future than ever. With the rise of the internet, creators can show their projects to the whole world and build up a large audience that are willing to support their endeavors.
We're taking apologies now, just FYI.
Would love nothing more than to have a crowd-funded project. And there have been projects that have been funded for millions of dollars. In fact, I think it was Critical Roles was one that got $12 million, something like that. And that wound up on Amazon Prime. I hope more people in the industry, especially legendary creators like Gendy or Craig McCracken, would notice the rise of indie animation and would take advantage of this to crowdfund their own projects. Seth says, actually pitched a project to the same round of What a Cartoon Is Dexter and Powerpuff Girls. Saw both original shorts get made at school. Powerpuff Girls was originally Whoop-Ass Girls. I do remember that. And they couldn't put that on Cartoon Network, so it had to be the Powerpuff Girls. Hell of a Boss was fan-funded. Creators deserve freedom to tell their stories. Yeah, and Lackadaisy. I guess that's doing okay now, too. Wow. So how many more... here we have Skibbity Toilet. Skibbity Toilet, which is getting a Michael Bay movie, right? There we go. How many more industry veterans are going to have to come out and say, one, that the animation industry is not in a very good place right now, and you better go try to find something to do on your own because the studios aren't going to be calling you like they were. And two, that the future is independent animation.
Yeah, but when we say it, we're the bad guys. And we've been saying it before these other people did.
I know, right? It's crazy. Everybody's using the opportunity now to pimp their own stuff. But yeah, there was not to get into specifics, but there was somebody that was apparently very obsessed with us, making a bunch of videos about us late last year into I think they stopped. I think they stopped the end of
beyond that though. You said before, like somebody would say something, or they'd talk about a video we did and say how we're right. And then people would dogpile them like, don't bring Clownfish TV, and they don't know what they're talking about. Well, apparently we effing do.
Yeah, and this is actually coming from talking to people that have been doing this for a while, and they're like, look, this is the only path forward, because the studios, the days of them greenlighting your Tumblr fan fiction are over.
Plus, they do greenlight stuff. A lot of times you have to sign everything away too. Like they'll take it, but they'll take everything. And if you want it back, you have to buy it back or whatever.
Yeah, Megas XLR, from what I remember, they wanted to buy back their property, but they basically wanted what they invested in it, which was like millions of dollars, in the animation and the marketing and all that stuff. So they weren't able to get it back. There were some other people that could get their stuff back, claw it back, but like Cartoon Network owns Powerpuff Girls. They own Steven Universe. And they can go ahead and do reboots or reimaginings and not include the original creators at all if they don't want to. They've done that. I mean, look at what happened with Powerpuff 2016. And I could totally see them doing it. They did it with Courage the Cowardly Dog, too. Mm-hmm. They didn't include the original creator because they don't have to. Because you sell your baby to these companies, you get the high fives and they put your name on the credits at the beginning. But a lot of these creators, unless they have a voice role too, they don't actually get paid much of anything in royalties.
That's why, like N.D. Stevenson made sure that they voiced characters in She-Ra. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of how they do it. But it's not a very good deal for creators. But I just think it's funny. They said, this person says one day indie animation will become the new big studios, and it's going to be an endless cycle till that day comes. Enjoy the shows. Well, what's going on now, though, is that the streaming services are picking shows up that have already been tested on social media. So if the best way, I mean, it sounds ridiculous because it's kind of like the Steve Martin skit with, how do you make $1 million and not pay taxes? It's like, first you get $1 million, right? In this case, it's like, first you do an animated pilot.
Well, when you're looking at the comments, there's a lot of people that are just whiny. They're just like, Hazbin Hotel isn't indie anymore because, Disney Pop and all that. And they're just like whining. It's like a lot of people just whining because it's like, you're just jealous. You're just come across as being jealous. It's like, this is the way it's going to go. You can keep sitting in your chair and hoping that for the best, but you're probably going to have no job soon.
Well, I think that's it. And I think what's going on, I think the reason that we're getting a lot of sour grapes here and the reason that you have a lot of people that are, maybe unionized animation industry professionals that are like, indie isn't the future is because, well, one, the unions don't really have a lot of sway, if any sway, when it comes to indie animation, but also it's hard. You have to build something from the ground up. You have to build an audience from the ground up.
You don't have to put in a warm seat.
No. And it's very, very hard to do. Right. And a lot of these people, some people are excited. The people that are actually doing something are excited. Like, this all these possibilities that are before us now that anybody can, do their pilot and get it picked up by Netflix or whatever. Or Tubi or whatever it is, right? Or just make it big on YouTube. But then other people are terrified because, again, they want to just move into that studio system and collect a check. And those days are over.
But they also complain because it is hard. And they're like, how am I going to do that? And that's true. I mean, a lot of people that can leverage that have years of experience or connections or fan base, which is true. But, status quo is not staying the same. You're going to have to, poop or get off the pot at this point in time.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more people like Seth come out in the coming months and years as it becomes more obvious that even for people like them that have been doing this for a long time, indie is like the only path forward. Right. And this is the same with comics and stuff, too. Like, you can't really work in that system anymore because it's broken. It's not what it used to be. Just because you grew up and people worked at Disney and they were Disney animators and they worked there for 30, 40 years and they got their Mickey Mouse watch or whatever, doesn't mean that that's the way it's going to stay.
Well, they're really mad about Hazbin Hotel. They're like, it was funded by a megacorp. It's not indie. And all that. They're just really mad.
A24? I mean, A24 is pretty indie.
They're just mad about it. It's just hilarious.
Because it's not them.
Yeah, exactly.
And VivziePop's not doing what they want. It was fine when, again, we've seen this too, the crabs in the bucket, where it's fine if everybody's on the same level, but as soon as a couple of people get out of the bucket, then they all start going after those people, right? We saw this in webcomics, and I imagine it's the same with independent animation.
Oh, yeah, it's big in webcomics.
Like VivziePop was fine as long as she knew her place, and she stayed on YouTube, and she stayed small, and she knew.
As soon as she did better than them, then how dare they?
Then all the allegations started coming out, and all the crazy stuff started coming out about it. And I'm not saying there weren't kernels of truth to the allegations, but I think it might have been blown out of proportion knowing how cartoon stands can be.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I just think it comes across as just jealousy, but this is me.
It does. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. #Clownfish was right.
Yeah,
we'll talk later.
Bye.